The legacy of the eagle, Lord of the skies. In the untamed frontiers of North America, where ice embraces stone and rivers dictate the rhythm of life, a story begins in absolute silence. It does not begin with a battle cry, nor with the beating of powerful wings across the horizon. It begins in darkness, in the heart of an ancient pine forest, where the wind whistles a melody of survival that few stop to hear. Here, 100 feet above the ground, suspended between sky and earth, stands a colossal structure, a cathedral of branches, mud, and moss, reinforced year after year for more than a decade. It is the home of a sovereign, the nest of a pair of bald eagles. Inside this nest, protected by the constant warmth of their parents, 3 eggs await their moment. They are spheres of calcium, fragile in appearance, yet designed to withstand the fiercest storms of the Pacific Northwest. But not all beginnings are equal. While winter still dominates the landscape and rivers flow partially frozen, one embryo beats with unusual strength. Its cells divide with an urgency that seems to anticipate the destiny ahead. Its primitive nervous system forms within days. Its heart begins pumping blood before its body is even complete. This individual, the protagonist of our story, we will follow from its very first heartbeat. The young eagle does not know it, but its life is a wager of energetic precision. For 35 days, its parents have taken turns with military discipline. While one incubates, shielding life from the freezing cold with its own body, the other patrols the skies in search of scarce winter food. The temperature within the nest must remain strictly close to 98.6 degrees Fahrenheit. The slightest deviation, a lapse of only a few minutes beneath falling snow, and life would extinguish forever. But the parents are experienced. They have survived harsher winters and understand the weight of the responsibility carried in their talons. Birth is an exhausting struggle. The dominant eaglet uses its egg tooth, a small protuberance on its beak, to strike the calcium wall from within. It is a process requiring hours of relentless effort. It must pierce the membrane, breathe the frigid forest air for the first time, and fracture the shell. When it finally emerges, wet, awkward, and covered in gray down, the clock of nature begins ticking. Hours later, its 2 siblings hatch. The difference in time is minimal, barely a whisper on the scale of the universe. Yet in the world of raptors, a single day of advantage is an eternity of power. From the first moment, hierarchy is established. There is no hatred in the nest, no malice, but there is an unavoidable biological truth: energetic priority. When the mother arrives with the first piece of salmon flesh, the dominant eaglet raises its neck with fierce determination. Its body, slightly larger and stronger thanks to those few hours of advantage, allows it to position itself at the front. It feeds first. It absorbs the nutrients that will enable it to grow faster than the others. In these early weeks, competition is silent. It does not need to attack its siblings. It simply needs to be more efficient. If food is abundant, all may thrive. But if winter lingers and prey grows scarce, nature will apply its harsh arithmetic. In films, we often hear the bald eagle portrayed with a powerful, majestic scream. But reality is different. Its voice is a high-pitched chirp, a series of sounds resembling nervous laughter. It is a fascinating paradox. The most imposing bird on the continent possesses a voice that does not match its appearance. But this young predator does not require an intimidating call. Its power resides in its eyes. Its eyeballs are nearly as large as those of a human, yet its focusing ability is extraordinary. Its vision is 4 times sharper than ours. It can detect the movement of a trout beneath the surface of a lake from over half a mile away. It is a machine designed to process visual information at speeds beyond our imagination. At 4 weeks, a cold storm descends unexpectedly upon the valley. The wind exceeds 40 miles per hour, rocking the nest like a forgotten cradle in the midst of a hurricane. The father delays his return. Fishing has become nearly impossible in the turbulent waters. The 3 eaglets crouch low, pressed together to conserve warmth. But here the advantage of the eldest becomes decisive. Slightly greater body mass grants it a thermal advantage. It retains heat more efficiently, expending less energy to stay alive. When food finally arrives, it responds with vigor its weakened siblings cannot match. It is the law of physiology. The strong grow stronger, while the weak must wait for what remains. By 10 weeks, the transformation is astonishing. The gray down has vanished, replaced by dark brown juvenile feathers. No longer a defenseless chick, it is a prototype predator. Its wings now stretch outward with curiosity, built from symmetrical feathers. Nature is so precise that if it loses a feather from its left wing, the corresponding feather on the right will soon fall to preserve perfect aerodynamic balance. Its talons now exert a closing pressure of 400 pounds per square inch. Once those talons clamp onto prey, only its own will can release them. Summer brings thermal currents, columns of warm air rising from the valley toward the clouds. The young eagle approaches the edge of the nest. It does not look downward in fear. It studies the horizon with ancient intensity. It feels the wind brushing its primary feathers. This is the most dangerous moment of its life, the first leap. There are no rehearsals, no safety nets. If it fails, the forest floor, inhabited by wolves and bears, will mark its end. But it was not designed for the ground. It leaps. For seconds that feel eternal, gravity claims its body. It plummets, wings beating in desperate chaos. Then, suddenly, the miracle occurs. Air meets the surface of its feathers. Lift elevates it. The body aligns with the current, and for the first time, it experiences the absolute freedom of the sky. The flight is not elegant. It is rough and erratic, but it is success. It does not fall to predators. It returns to a high branch, exhausted yet transformed. No longer merely a creature of wood. It is now a citizen of the air. Yet flight is only half the battle. The following winter will be the true trial by fire. 50% of juvenile eagles do not survive their first year. Summer's abundance disappears. Lakes freeze, and fishing demands energy it cannot afford to waste. It must learn to calculate every strike. Each failed dive into the water is a caloric deficit drawing it closer to death. It learns to be opportunistic, to steal prey from smaller birds, to feed on carrion when necessary. On nights below freezing, its metabolism becomes judge and executioner. If it does not eat, its pectoral muscles will begin consuming themselves to preserve the warmth of its heart. But it is a survivor. Coordination improves with every attempt. Its vision detects life even beneath thin layers of ice. It survives where others fall. Years pass and its appearance changes. The mottled plumage gradually lightens. At 5 years, the definitive transformation occurs. Its head and tail turn white as mountain snow. This is its formal attire, the signal that maturity has arrived. No longer a wanderer of the sky, it is now a monarch entitled to territory. The story of this eagle is also the story of a species that returned from darkness. In the mid-20th century, the pesticide DDT nearly annihilated these giants. In 1963, only 417 breeding pairs remained in the lower 48 states. Human intervention, the banning of those chemicals and habitat restoration, allowed more than 70,000 individuals to soar above us today. The survival of this individual is not only a triumph of genetics, but also a testament to humanity's capacity to correct its mistakes. Today, it has claimed its own river, a broad current rich with life. It has formed a pair bond, a pact of loyalty broken only by death. Together, they have built a nest atop an ancient pine. Its life has not been heroic in the human sense. It has been efficient. It has not sought glory. It has pursued energetic precision. Every winter survived. Every fish captured with surgical accuracy has been a piece in the puzzle of its existence. Now, as the sun sets over the Alaskan horizon, 3 new eggs rest at the center of its nest. The cycle does not repeat, it refines. For as long as clean rivers flow and rising air lifts wings skyward, the sky will continue to have a sovereign, not because it is a symbol, but because it is the perfected result of millions of years of adaptation. Life continues, optimized, vigilant, and untamed through the wild eyes of the bald eagle.